On this episode of TfX TV, I'm going to go step by step how you can make your very own ultimate eye stabilizer. It's time for TfX TV. Let's plug in. Okay, so here's the bracket. First thing we need to do is take all the pieces apart. What we have here is some rubber little plugs that are covering up the screws that we need to unscrew. So I took out those first, and then I went ahead and went around and started unscrewing all the screws to separate the handpiece from our bracket. So we speed up the clip here, taking off the bracket, taking the rest of the screws out, and then the bottom finger grip will come off here. Taking the strap apart. There's the finger grip to come off. Now I'm just getting these straps out from the bottom here. You got to pull them out from the bottom. There's one. I'm going to work on the other side here. There's two. Okay. So now we have to get this this centerpiece out, and there's still one little screw in there, and this little tool came with the flash bracket here, so I just used that to unscrew it. There we are, down to bare bones. Now let's get rid of the centerpiece. The centerpiece is actually welded to the bracket, so we have to get rid of that. The easiest way I found was to get a Dremel and start dremeling the weld to weaken the weld. That's what I'm doing here with the Dremel. Working my way around to the other side of the weld. And what I did was I got a hammer and I just pounded it out. Make sure you don't bend or break anything. You really have to get rid of that weld before you do that. So now what I'm doing is sanding the spots where I'm going to glue some rubber for where my accessories go. Now you can use any kind of rubber. You can use like even like a rubber placemat or anything you really want. Maybe even some foam from the craft store, like some really thin foam. What I've been using on most of my projects is it's some kind of a rubber that's self-adhesive when it's pulled back on itself. Like if you were to wrap it around, let's say a piece of metal or something, and you pull on it, it kind of adheres, it sticks to itself. So what I did was I just use it for this kind of a situation here, where I glue it to the place where I'm going to mount accessories. That way the accessories don't spin on you, because a lot of these accessories are being attached with one screw, and if you just have metal on metal, they'll tend to come loose quite easy. So here I'm just scoring up the area. I'm using Loctite super glue. It's the gel kind, that way it doesn't go dripping and running all over the place. Here's the rubber that I'm using. Making sure it's in place. Making sure it's all nice and straight. Then wiping off the excess glue. Okay, now I'm taking an X-Acto knife and I'm cutting around, cutting through the rubber that I just put where the holes where the screws are going to go through to hold our accessories on. Going to speed up the clip here. Okay, now that that's all done, I had to get a drill to drill the holes out a little bigger to fit my screws. So I got a drill bit here, drilling out the holes a little bigger. You actually probably want to do this first before putting on the rubber, but I found that I found out later that I had to make the holes bigger, so go ahead and do that. Now I just found some screws in my box that fit perfect, and these little plastic spacers. You can use washers or anything you want. I used one spacer and cut it in half and used a half of the other one. Reasons for doing this is if, for one, my screws were too long and I didn't want to go to the hardware store and buy new screws. But I found out that because they're longer, it gives you some space to get your fingers around so you can hand tighten it. Now I'm using an Allen wrench here, but it wasn't really necessary. And I use Allen screws because the head on the Allen screws are a little thicker to give you kind of a more area for your thumb to hold on to. And I used another screw with spacers on the other side here for our mounting plate, our camera mounting plate. Quick release. Now I did use an Allen wrench on this because I didn't want this to move at all. I wanted it nice and tight. The other one, you want to be able to loosen it with your fingers so you can fold and collapse this thing to put in your bag. So I got that one nice and tight right there. Now this little accessory shoe mount actually came with the bracket, which was really nice. Just kind of adjusting it here for my Zoom H1 that I use for a microphone. And the windscreen that I have on my Zoom H1, people's been asking me, that is actually, it's a brand called Redhead. And I think it's over at redheadwindscreens.com. You can check those out over there. Then I went ahead and added my light. And the other half of the quick release. If you guys haven't seen my other tutorials on how I made my OtterBox to use for my quick release plates, you can go check out trinityfxmg.com or my YouTube channel to see how I made that part. Went ahead and locked that down. Got my iPhone out of my pocket. Went ahead and snapped that into place. And there you go, your very own ultimate eye stabilizer.